Hello and welcome to Tête à Tête, France 24's flagship interview show. Our guest this week is Monique Clesca. She's an author, former United Nations official, and a well-known democracy advocate from Haiti. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you. It is an honor to be here. Thank you.
The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, addressed the Human Rights Council a few days ago. He said Haiti had reached, quote-unquote, yet another crisis point, heavily armed gangs controlling not only the capital Port-au-Prince, humanitarian situation worsening, institutional situation very fragile. Over 4,000 people have been killed between July 2024 and February 2025. So beyond those words, beyond the statistics, you live in Port-au-Prince. How is daily life over there now?
Daily life is hellish. Daily life is catastrophic. And daily life also is an act of resistance for most people in the Port-au-Prince area and also in the outlying areas, because what the gangs have done have been to control not only Port-au-Prince, but all the entry points and all the exit points from Port-au-Prince. So we are actually living in a prison, in an open-air prison. So daily life is extremely difficult. Economically, it is unsustainable. Emotionally, I think I heard someone say more people are dying from depression than are dying from other things. The health system has fallen apart. People die from just not being able to get health care, proper health care. And so it is a catastrophe. And some people are saying it is a civil war, whereas the gangs, and I talk about gangs in suits who are in power, as well as the gangs in sandals. And these gangs are killing us. They are at war against us, the population.
The president of the Transitional Presidential Council, Alphonse Jean, acknowledged that the country was, quote-unquote, in a state of war. You mentioned the gangs reaching beyond the capital, Port-au-Prince. We just saw a few days ago them storming the town of Mirebalais, which is 50 kilometers out of Port-au-Prince, to free some 500 inmates from a prison.
Yeah, but let's go beyond that. To free the inmates from the prison, a lot of the inmates in the prison were there for trafficking, arms trafficking. That is one aspect. The second aspect also, Mirebalais leads to the center of the country and leads to the north. So it is a strategic move on their part to try to control the entrance to the north, as well as the entrance to the Dominican Republic, where arms are coming through. So let's be very, very clear on this. It is a war against us, and for now, the Transitional Council has not done anything on the side of the population. In fact, the resistance of the population with the police is what has prevented even more gangs by the gangs.
Well, there is also an international force mandated by the Security Council that has been deploying, but however it is in terms of funding severely underfunded, and even in terms of personnel, the expectation was 2,500 troops. It's less than that. Is it already a failure in your eyes?
It was a failure to even think that an international force from Kenya, mostly, could help us.
Why?
Because it really is about Haitians getting out of this situation. And it is a signal of the bad governance that there was an agreement for this international force, because what we should have done was train more Haitians, train more police, build up the army, and build the strength of the population, as well as provide services, whereas a lot of energy went into this thinking that an international force could come. They have come, and a lot of Haitians say they are like tourists. A lot of them are perhaps scared to get into the arm-in-arm warfare of the gangs, because in a way, it is not their battle. They're getting paid for it, but from the inside, from the belly, it is not their battle, it is our battle, and we are the ones who are fighting it, and we are the ones who need to be able to fight it, even though our resources may not be up to par, but we're fighting.
Given the situation you just described, and we didn't even touch upon the catastrophic humanitarian situation, is a transition possible? There is a deadline, obviously, but it seems that it's mission impossible right now.
It is mission impossible because it is not a transition. What is it that we're seeing? We're seeing the same corruption. We're seeing the same impunity. We are seeing pretty much the same thing that we have been seeing since 2011. So I haven't seen a transition yet, because the word transition means you go from one thing to another. We have the same system of governance that we had with Martelly, with Jovenel Moïse, with Ariel Henry, that we have now with the Transitional Council.
So there won't be elections in February 2026?
I don't see how we can have elections. We can't even walk in the streets. We can't even go. Healthcare systems are falling apart. The gangs were at the door practically of a major hospital complex in Mirbalais. How can you be saying that you're going to hold elections in 9 months when you can't even go to the supermarket, you can't go to the banks? We need security first. Secondly, we need for a million people who are displaced to be getting support. And I say 1 million displaced, those are the numbers, but they are certainly more.
Should there be negotiations with the gang?
I do not believe there should be negotiations with people who are killing us, with people who are raping us, with people who are saying they have a political agenda, but the only political agenda is killing us, destroying us, and this policy of burning our houses, burning hospitals, burning libraries, burning, and burning, and burning. So to us, it is resistance. It is moving forward, trying to see if we can get honest men and women who can move towards a path forward, something that will be transition from this corruption that we have with this provisional council to something that can bring us a minimum level of security and humanitarian assistance.
I want to get to a very symbolic issue that concerns Haiti and France. In an interview he granted to us, the then president of the Presidential Council, Leslie Voltaire, said the French president, Emmanuel Macron, had talked to him about a quote-unquote restitution by France of the so-called indemnity paid by Haiti to France back in 1825. There have been a lot of estimates about how much was owed. What do you expect the French president to say and to do?
The 17th of April, 2025 will mark 200 years since what they call the ordonnance of the French King Charles X, which stipulated that under the threat of 14 warships that were in the harbor of Port-au-Prince with over 500 cannons, that Haiti had to pay an indemnity to the colonizers, which is, we had won independence 21 years before. It is a historical injustice. So what is it? I am part of different organizations, and one of them is the Haitian Collective, Afro-Descendant Collective. We are saying what? We are saying that France must recognize that this was a historical injustice. We are in a geopolitical moment right now where France is being shut down, thrown out, insulted, etc., in Western Africa for various reasons, and a lot of them of extremely good reasons. We think this is a moment where France can raise its head and ethically, historically, and say, we were wrong. France has done this in other ways to say we were wrong. That is the first thing. The second thing that is important, we believe, is to put together an international kind of commission, Haitian, France, to look at the situation, to look at their different amounts. The economist Thomas Piketty has come up with amounts, and the historian Gusti Gaillard has also come up with different amounts, which come from anywhere from 500 million euros to 21 billion euros, whatever it is. But we need to sit down, a kind of bi-national commission, to determine what this is, what the amount is. And third, we also need for an international commission, perhaps the same, to look at what areas would best be symbolically and realistically benefit from this amount. The Haitian peasants have paid a very steep price to pay the debt, because the president at the time, Boyer, did a rural code that really kind of put the pressure on the Haitian peasants. And we believe the health sector, the education sector, infrastructure, particularly in the outlying areas in Haiti, are the ones who should benefit. But these are the kinds of things that, with civil society organizations, with governments, should be put together on both sides, Haitian and French, to think about this. It is a war, a diplomatic war. It is an ethical war, because when we're talking about historical injustice, we are talking about that. And it is also a legal war. We need to, and there are plans to sue France for this money. But I believe that France and Haiti can come to an agreement, and Emmanuel Macron can go into history in the proper way by recognizing that this was a historical injustice and do something about it.
Monique Clesca, I want to thank you very much for being our guest here on France 24. And I want to thank you all for watching this show.